Yabba dabba doo, here we go. It's the last day of glorious Goodwood, but as Barney likes to remind me, if you'll just bear with me a mo. So, why does Edward Woodward have so many D's in his name? Because otherwise he'd be known as E-War Woo War. Terrible, isn't it? But on that theme, glorious Goodwood became inglorious Goo Woo after Thursday's deluge, and there were withdrawals all over then, and on Friday. But there's no more rain on the South Downs in the forecast, so all looks set for a top day's racing to close the festival. Now let's get a couple of the handicaps out of the way first. Never easy, these at Goodwood. So, for the summer handicap, the big question is, does French Duke get this 1 mile 6 trip? Although he won here last year, over 1.5 miles, so showed he can act on this track. My guess is that he does get the trip and can only come on for that seasonal first run at Ascot's Royal Do, when a 7.5 length 7th in the big field, Duke of Edinburgh, and he has probably been lined up for this. Closing the card, Treasure Time was withdrawn from Friday's Golden Mile on account of the deep ground, but looks good value for this lesser race. I'll be taking the chance that the course will have dried out enough for William Haggis's time test gelding, who ran okay here last year, and will definitely come on for his first run this term at Sandown Park last month. In fact, that was a hotter race. So despite the extra cut in the surface here, I'll be expecting a big run under Tom Marquand, with Andrew Balding's Gladius and Richard Hannon's Boyfriend both expected to be thereabouts. Treasure Time to open the treasure chest in the closer. Anyway, let's bin the bad jokes and get on with the business in hand. For Saturday's nap, well, I'm going to stick with Al Arcey for the Glorious Stakes and repeat last year's win. It was good to firm ground then, so obviously there's more dig in it now, but Al Arcey has got plenty of form on the deeper stuff, so I'm not bothered about that. What he's really good at, with super cool Jim Crowley in the chair, is navigating a tactical race in a small field, so I'm guessing that all the stars are aligned to defend the title. It's probably stablemate Candleford that's the biggest danger, but although he's won at listed level, he ain't got a group success under his belt yet, so in this grade, Al Arcey is the class act and gets my vote. My next best goes in the Lily Langtree, where Term of Endearment is another that's likely to line up from the top of the market. But I reckon that's just about justified. Here's why. Reason 1, Term of Endearment won this in 2024, so likes it here. Reason 2, her second by a head to Scenic in the Bronte Cup Fillies Stakes at York showed she's still in fine form. Reason 3, she's out of William Haggis's yard now and has Tom Marquand for company. Reason 4, she won't be minding the softer ground if any more rain does arrive on the South Downs, and looks the pick of these ahead of Irish Raider, Goody Two Shoes, and Home Hope Swano. Term of Endearment to defend her crown and make it a good day for the Somerville Lodge Yard. For the Stewards Cup, I think I'll take a chance with William Haggis's Elmanged, given that he arrives here in good form after last week's win at York. I'm reckoning that inside him, the progressive Hammer. The Hammer will draw Elmanged nicely into a late run in the final furlong and a half, with Jim Crowley, my man, to get the timing spot on. Obviously, Elmanged runs under a penalty, while Get It, last year's winner, is back to his best, but drawn in stall 27 does ask a question, and these are my 3. Next up, I know I'm starting to sound like the Jim Crowley Appreciation Club, but I reckon he's got another great chance with Mudbeer. Got my reasons though, as the inside draw is handy on Goodwood's 7 furlong track, plus this Kingman colt lines up after a nice win at Sandown Park last month, and timing a late finish down Goodwood's speedy downhill run-in can suit his running style. Yarmo B, there is a class act that steps into a handicap and might well have been given a chance off this mark, but my heart says Mudbeer, so that's where I'm sticking my pin. In the maiden, for the 2-year-old colts and geldings, Isaac Newton cost a pretty penny, but ran with plenty of credit on his debut at the Curragh 2 weeks ago. I'm hoping that first run will have made the penny drop, or should that be Apple? But it did look a decent piece of form when just a nose down to the hot favourite, stablemate New Zealand. Fellow Irish Raider, Corinth also looks one to keep tabs on, while Charlie Johnston's Evanesco is my each-way angle for a yard that has always done well here. Isaac Newton to gravitate to the winning line first.